Today is a busy day. It is Mother's Day weekend and we are having my family over for dinner. So I have a lot to do today. I have already whipped up my sourdough. You've seen it a million times. I'm whipping up a double batch of dough for hamburger buns and hot dog buns. I realized the recipe that I was using was basically the same thing, so I'm just doubling the batch. Shaping them differently and we'll be good to go. I have some exciting finds in the garden and in the yard that I want to show you guys. It kind of doesn't look like we did a lot visually, but we've done a lot. And we are prepping for the garden, which is gonna be so soon that we're gonna be tilling it and like actually having it. But I found some this is like a really exciting time because we got the house in November, and between moving and we had to put a new roof on and like that kind of stuff, by the time we were done that, it had snowed out already, so everything was covered. So like I'm walking through the yard and I'm finding so many things, and like I'm trying to figure out what plants and perennials there are on the property already. I found some daffodils, which are really cool. There's a couple spots of lilies. And I think there are a few perennial like berries and stuff like that I'm really excited. And there's one, I didn't even know they would like survive the winter in Canada. I've not really done research on them in general, but I just assume 90% of things will not survive our winters here because they're so long and cold. But if research tells me right, I have a really cool crop, I guess I'll call it, on the property already, well established, and I want to show you guys and get your opinions on if you think it actually is what I think it is. I need some experts here to help me out. But before we go outside and we do all of that, I have to finish inside. I am just letting, looks kind of gross, just letting the yeast bloom a little bit before I add in the egg, the salt, and the flour for these. And then everything can be set to the side and resting, and we can head outside. It's also a beautiful day. It's a little windy, but beggars can't be choosers. The sun is out. Also, 6 weeks until our really exciting first animals arrive. I'm so excited. Ta-da! 10 burger buns, 2, 4, 6, 8 sausage buns. I'm gonna leave the link to the recipe that I'm using down below because I freaking love it. There's basically no rise time. So you literally, the rise time it calls for is you wait to preheat your oven until you're done shaping, and then you turn your oven on to preheat and let them sit. And whatever amount of time your oven takes to preheat is the amount of time you let them sit and rise. There's no initial rise or anything. You literally knead the dough for 5 minutes till it incorporates together, shape it, and then let it sit for the preheat amount of time, and then you bake them. So there's like no 6-hour proofing time or anything like that. So it's a really good recipe. So I will leave that down below. It is way later in the day. My family ended up coming out earlier and they just all left. And I have a bunch of plants that I want to show you guys that my mom got me because our greenhouses are starting to open. But before I did that, I wanted to head outside and I wanted to show you guys and ask your opinion on if you think one of the plants I think it is here is what I think it is. There's a perennial here that I think is a really cool perennial to have that I didn't know, like I said, could survive in Canada, and we have like 4 of them. So let's go see. It's so freaking cold out. It's supposed to be below 0 tonight. But guys, tell me if this is what I think it is. Look at that. I think these are red elderberries. And we have, these are all elderberries. If it's elderberries, tell me if I'm wrong. We have all of these. It's been growing wild back here and there's garbage everywhere, so ignore that. We're cleaning still. This is all elderberries. Like, look at these. So freaking cool. And we have more. All here, all along this tree line, all the way over to there. And tell me if I'm wrong. My research is wrong, but I think they're elderberries, which is really cool. And if it is, if they are elderberries, how do I harvest the roots? Because I've heard a lot of people harvest the roots for medicinal effects, and I don't quite know how to go about that. So let me know if you know how I can harvest the roots too, because like these are so cool. When I found them, I was like, no way. So this is like what I love about this is like I said, we bought the place in November, so there's snow on the ground by the time. So all of this new stuff is like, I get to see what is blooming and like what we have, which is so freaking cool. We have some exciting animals coming soon in like 6 weeks. And I think back here is where we're gonna keep them. So we have a barn, a beautiful barn. This is all garbage that we took out right before the snow came last year from the barn. So that's all gotta go to the dump very soon. And then we have our tractor back late in that. But this is behind the barn, the backside. Behind the barn, this is our elderberries. It's all cleared already, all the way. And I'm sort of standing right in the bush line. So we're gonna build the shelter for the animals and keep all of the animals back here, we think. And whilst we're here, to the right of the barn, we're gonna have our greenhouse, which should be done this weekend or the following weekend, depending on how much time we have after work to work on it. But we started bringing dirt down because at one point they had cows on this land. So there is so much good dirt and manure around, especially around the barn. But that means it's very muddy and mucky from all the snow melting. So everything's really wet right now. But I'm not complaining because we can just scrape the manure and put it in the garden and have really good soil to start. But we have, this is my fiance's right there. Right where that dirt pile is where we're gonna put the greenhouse. Which again, hopefully the next video you see will be the greenhouse and possibly us tilling the garden and getting that all ready. I feel like everything, it's such a waiting game right now with everything, because like It's second week of May and it's below freezing tonight. So we can't be planting anything, we can't be doing anything like that, which kind of sucks. Not gonna lie. I'm also waiting to see back by where I think the elderberries are. It's hard to tell, but I think we might have either wild blackberries or wild raspberries back there, which is very, very cool. My mother got me 3 huge trays like this of plants from the greenhouse because our local greenhouse finally just had their grand opening. So I'm gonna show you guys a couple of things we got. We have this really cool Rapunzel cherry tomato plant, and the tomatoes are supposed to grow in like a vine, like Rapunzel's hair. It's not focusing. Like Rapunzel's hair. She got me 2 or 3 oregano plants, which is really good for when we go to make tomato sauces. I don't even know everything she got yet. These really freaking beautiful cabbage plants. She got these beans. They're blue like bush beans, so they don't vine. Got me 4 of these beautiful spinach. They are like glowy and green and just look beautiful. And the final flat, which is a little more controllable, we have another oregano plant. We have 3 beautiful rosemaries. Again, great for drying and saving and for all of our cooking and sauces. So exciting. The other oregano plant that we got. It smells so good. Gosh. She got a few different kinds of strawberries too. So these are Summer Breeze Snow Strawberries. So they're supposed to be white strawberries, which is super cool. And then actually I remember this one, she said someone just put it down random spot and she doesn't know what it is because there's no label on it, but she bought it. So if anyone can help me identify what this might be, should be a vegetable. That's all I know. Yeah. We have a lot of exciting things coming up. They're just very weather dependent at the moment, sadly. But I hope you liked the video. I hope it wasn't too all over the place, but I'm beginning to learn that no matter what I plan, my days just turn into all over the place days. But yeah, I hope that you enjoyed this all over the place video, and yeah, hope maybe next week we'll have a really exciting, we'll have all of these plants in a house, in a greenhouse. Maybe. Who knows? Depends on everything. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed. Let me know what else you want to see, if you have any suggestions. And if you have any varieties of plants that you are like a must-have for you to have in your garden, I would love to hear what are like staples in your garden. Yeah. Thank you so much. Bye.